Wafer-scale engines versus GPUs, the future of AI infrastructure. Artificial intelligence is continuing to expand in both model size and complexity, and the underlying infrastructure is being pushed to its limits. While GPUs have long been the default for machine learning and inference, a new class of hardware, wafer-scale engines, WSEs, is challenging the norm. These large format processors are designed to handle massive AI workloads with lower latency and greater energy efficiency, positioning them as a serious contender for enterprises building next-generation AI systems. WSEs represent a shift from traditional chip architecture. Rather than distributing processing power across multiple chips in a cluster, WSEs consolidate hundreds of thousands of AI-optimized cores onto a single silicon wafer. Take the Cerebras WSE3, a monolithic chip built specifically to train and run trillion-parameter AI models. The integrated nature of WSEs also helps improve throughput and reduce power per operation. Key advantages in an era where data center sustainability is becoming a bottom-line concern. Recent peer-reviewed research from engineers at the University of California, Riverside, adds academic weight to the case for wafer-scale systems. Published in Device, the review highlights the growing need for hardware that can meet the rising performance and energy demands of large-scale AI. The UC Riverside team, spanning engineering and computer science disciplines, examined the potential of wafer-scale accelerators like the Cerebras Wafer-Scale Engine 3, WSE3. Unlike conventional GPUs, which are about the size of a postage stamp, WSEs are built on entire silicon wafers roughly the diameter of a dinner plate. This scale allows for an unprecedented concentration of compute resources, up to 900,000 specialized AI cores and 4 trillion transistors on a single wafer in the case of the WSE3. The researchers concluded that these architectures enable significantly more efficient data movement, which is critical as AI models grow to trillions of parameters. Wafer-scale systems reduce the need for energy-intensive communication between separate chips, a known bottleneck in GPU-based clusters. According to the paper's lead author, Professor Mihri Özkan of UCR's Bournes College of Engineering, traditional systems are increasingly strained by the energy and thermal demands of modern AI. The analysis underscores that the shift in AI hardware isn't solely about faster performance, but also about building architectures that can manage extreme data throughput without overheating or consuming excessive electricity. The review also notes that Tesla's Dojo D1 chip follows a similar philosophy, packing nearly 9,000 cores and 1.25 trillion transistors into a modular unit. Both systems aim to streamline AI workloads by keeping computation local to the wafer, eliminating the time and energy lost in transferring data across traditional interconnects. Tesla's Dojo system introduces a different take on wafer-scale thinking. Rather than a single wafer, it scales via interconnected training tiles composed of 25 D1 chips each. While not monolithic like the WSE3, Dojo's modular design enables 1.3 exaflops of theoretical compute power per tile, optimized for workloads such as autonomous driving. With tight interconnects and advanced cooling, Dojo delivers competitive performance without the internode latency that often limits traditional GPU setups. Still, there are trade-offs. WSEs are expensive, often costing upwards of $2 million per system. Their limited software ecosystem means developers must adapt existing frameworks. Cerebras offers an SDK, but it's far from the maturity of CUDA. Manufacturing challenges, like defect tolerance on large wafers and physical scalability limits, also hinder widespread deployment. GPUs remain the workhorse, but for how long? Despite the buzz around new hardware, GPUs continue to dominate AI infrastructure thanks to decades of ecosystem development. One of the GPU's biggest advantages is software. Frameworks like PyTorch and TensorFlow are tightly integrated with NVIDIA's CUDA platform, offering robust tools for distributed training, inference optimization, and hardware acceleration. Major players such as AWS, Meta, and Microsoft rely on H100-based systems like the DGX SuperPod to run large-scale AI services, reflecting the continued relevance of GPU clusters in cloud and enterprise deployments. As AI models grow beyond the trillion-parameter mark, however, GPU infrastructure starts to show limitations. Communication between GPUs via PCIe or NVLink can become a performance bottleneck. For example, When running an 8 billion parameter model, Cerberus WSE3 achieves over 1,800 tokens per second, while high-end H100 clusters often peak around 240. These performance gaps highlight the impact of latency and memory movement in distributed systems. Energy efficiency is another concern. Individual H100 GPUs consume about 700 watts, requiring high-end cooling and power infrastructure when scaled into data centers. Wafer-scale systems gain an edge by eliminating much of the interconnect energy overhead. Cerebras reports significantly better performance per watt in domain-specific simulations like carbon capture, and Tesla claims a 1.3 times efficiency gain with Dojo's latest generation. Final word. The enterprise AI landscape is evolving fast, and so are the demands on infrastructure. WSEs offer compelling advantages for organizations pushing the boundaries of model size and speed, particularly where latency, energy use, and throughput are mission critical. On the other hand, GPUs remain the more flexible and cost-effective solution for many workloads, thanks to their mature tooling and wide availability. This isn't a binary choice, but a strategic one. For enterprises building foundational AI models or deploying massive LLMs at scale, investing in next-gen hardware like WSEs may offer a competitive edge. For others, continuing to leverage GPU clusters while staying agile for future architecture shifts remains a sound approach. You've been listening to Sustainability Soundbites from E+E Leader. With over 10,000 downloads in the first 6 months, find out how you can expand your brand as a Soundbite sponsor.